Milwaukee's MX Fuel equipment system revolutionizes the light equipment market by delivering the performance and durability demanded by the trades. From the MX Fuel cut-off saw to the MX Fuel tower light, MX Fuel has you covered without the hazards associated with emissions, noise, vibrations, and the frustrations of petrol maintenance. MX Fuel equipment system, equipment redefined. Attention sports fans, planning an overseas trip to catch your favourite games? Look no further than Sports Where I Am. They've got it all. League schedules, trustworthy tickets, and over 200 cities to choose from, all conveniently on one website. Plus, as an Australian company, they know the importance of great customer service for those long-haul journeys. So visit sportswhereIam.com and start planning your dream sports trip today. Sports Where I Am, your ticket to an unforgettable sports travel experience. Righto, let's get into the show. Welcome back, everybody. Today we have a special guest. We got someone that I really admire, someone that's done things that I wish I could do. Josh Growden, who's former Giant, former LSU punter. I always get the kicker and punter mistake. You know, I know they're different roles, but I always just muck that one up. And now has a business called the Kicking Consultant and doing some really special things with all your expertise and skill around kicking and the high performance. So, mate, welcome to the Aus American Aces Tommy Talks podcast.
Oh, I love it, mate. Thanks for having me, Tommy.
Geez, that intro, I was like, geez, got to get through that. Don't want to stitch you up.
That's perfect.
Mate, what's been happening?
Oh, not much, mate. Just here in Melbourne, setting myself in. So getting used to the cold weather. Just got back from overseas, Central America and the States, actually. So a bit different. It's kind of warmer over there.
Business trip or a bit of pleasure?
Bit of both, mate.
Yes,
yeah.
always.
Well, the business side is still pleasure, to be honest. I'm traveling through the States, through Texas and stuff. And then, yeah, just really relaxed through Guatemala, Colombia, through the Central America.
How was that? I've never been to never been there.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, different culture, obviously, like, I don't know, just relaxing, like go to the beach, just really chill. I can speak Spanish, so that's, well.
Can you?
Yeah. We've done a few years teaching myself Spanish, so.
Can we speak Spanish? I'm going to pretend I know Spanish and talk back in English, all right? So just maybe give me something.
We'll get it real simple. ¿Cuál es tu nombre?
Yeah, not bad. That's elite. Where did you learn how to speak Spanish?
When I lived in America, I went to Mexico a couple of times, and I was just like, "Fuck it, like let's just learn it." I wasn't doing much else, and then just taught myself. And then through COVID, like I was like, "Oh, well, got nothing else. Like really got nothing else to do." So yeah, and then just like got some mates now from like Colombia and stuff, and yeah, just kind of went from there. So.
That's so cool, man. How long did it take you to do that?
Oh, well, it's like I'm still learning, right? But yeah, like I said, 4 or 5 years, and like there's definitely moments overseas where I was like, oh, like I don't really know what's going on, but kind of make my way through. But had a mate who only spoke English and definitely got him out of trouble a lot of times. So yeah, it was handy.
That's so cool, man. Well done. I admire anyone that can do that.
Yeah,
it's a lot of hard work that goes into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's dive in because I really want to get through just to give everyone listening, like as I said, AFL, some really nasty injuries. So the career was cut short, and then into LSU, and then, you know, now into the business world. There's a lot that goes in the middle of there. Talk to me about playing at the Giants and growing up. Where'd you grow up? And how was your experience at the Giants?
Yeah, so originally from country SA, and then got picked up by the Giants as one of those 12, 17-year-olds.
Yep.
So like pre-selected. So I went a year early than my draft year. Because I think we're in the same draft year, right?
Yeah, I'm 93 born.
Yeah, 93. Yeah,
exactly. So
exactly.
you were with all the boys like Goldie and all.
Yeah, so you had to be between January and April.
Yeah. Yeah, it had to be early.
Yeah, early.
I'm October born, so I was never a chance. I wouldn't have been a chance anyway.
So I got there in 2011, just before, like the year before they went.
So you're out at Rudy Hill handball with like Jezza and all that, Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so then I broke my leg at the end of that year and missed pretty much all of 2012.
Oh, no.
Which is like, I don't know, just that's when everyone was getting a gig.
That's when they had, that was my drafts.
Right, yeah. Right. But like, you know, they were just trialing everyone and I like debuting everyone more or less. And unfortunately I only played like 2 games back in the reserves before the season ended. It was like 350 days between games after breaking my leg. And then the next year I had hip surgery at the start of the preseason and then at the end of the season. So I played like maybe 12, 15 games in the Resis, but never got a game in like the AFL. And then got delisted at the end of 2013.
You skipped over the broken leg. That's a nasty. They reckon. I've spoken to a few boys before, obviously jumping on today, just to make sure that I got a bit more background on you. And the broken leg, if they get, can you remember it? I don't want to bring back. We've been doing this a lot actually lately on these pods, but can you remember the moment? Because I heard there was a real nasty. Like if you still look at the footage now, you can actually hear it, and it's a really bad break.
Yeah. It was pretty epic because playing at Metricon, empty stadium, and apparently it was just like a shotgun went off. That's what people had said, and I obviously remember the moment. A lot of pain.
What was that like? What was the scenario?
So I got the handball received and kind of like in the defensive half, and I thought I was like at the end, going to just clear it. There's no one really behind me, but then got tackled from behind as I was about to kick it. Ended up kicking the back of my leg, my plant leg, and breaking the plant leg.
Kicked
my own leg. Yeah.
Right.
I think there's Jake Stringer back when he was like 17 or 18 did the same thing. It's pretty clean break. Like just snap both bones. Just
could you see your leg bent in half?
Yeah, I remember just lying on the ground. I just kind of like wobbled my leg. It was just like, shit, yeah. Like I knew straight away, pretty much, yeah.
And just shock.
Yeah, shock.
Green whistle.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah,
yeah.
Very positive. But
wow. And then so when that happened, a couple of boys are saying like when you come back, you're almost running with a bit of a limp.
Yeah, for sure. It never really got back, to be honest. Like there was, I don't know, the fibula, like the smaller bone that was like having issues. I think it was just like kind of aggravating the like surrounding nerves and muscles around it. So definitely had a bit of a limp. And then I remember we just like put local anesthetic in it so I could play some games.
And then did you have a little bit of shin splints and all that kind of stuff as well? Or?
Yeah, naturally, but not too bad. Yeah.
All right. So local anesthetic just to get going. I mean, that just... Oh, wow. And then the hip surgery as well. Like, where'd that come from? Just random, just... they reckon you're an Adonis, mate. The rig, maybe the big Rigosaurus, they reckon they're just too big for your own good. That's what they reckon. Just cut.
Just like too top heavy, yeah. No, well, I don't know. Don't really want to go into the hip surgery too much because I was telling them while I had my broken leg, hey, like my hips don't feel great. And they're like, we'll get you back from your leg, rah. End up going away for the off season and like smashing it. Like I was squatting heavy. Like I was really motivated. I was going after it. Come back and apparently like your squatting is like off the charts compared to what everyone else has done. And doing all the physical assessments. Oh, your hips a little bit. So got a scan. I'm like, I've been telling you guys this. So didn't get the surgery till like I think it was like December. Whereas I could have had it done in October.
So bring it forward and get yourself going for the next preseason.
Yeah, which is what a lot of guys were doing back then. It was quite a common surgery, the FAI clean out of your hip.
The shape, that little shape.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, so, guys would get it done in the off season and then be back pretty, early preseason, whereas I was coming back late, missing kind of like the trial games at the start of this. Yeah.
Oh, mate, I feel for you. It's being, I was a bit like that. My career was at the end, just calf tendons and soft tissues. Nothing like yours. Yours is severe, but there's the mental... I guess the challenges that go with it, you're trying everything and your body's breaking down on you and it's like, why me? I just want to show you what I've got.
Seriously.
But as you know, everything happens for a reason and you get delisted, as they say. 3 years at the Giants, like wonderful club, isn't it? Like what were some special memories there? Like what do you remember at the Giants besides from the football element?
Yeah, well I think like because we're all similar age, and it's hard because I have nothing to compare it to really. Like I didn't experience another AFL club where you got older people, but all like a similar age. And there's like the Craig Lambert's like our welfare manager, just like having like a family there and just like playing Mario Kart or, going out. We'd always have we had all these restaurants the club had organised us to like get dinners at and we'd all just go there and just hang out. And you probably, till you look back, you realise how good that was. Going to the beaches in Sydney with mates was,
Beautiful place. Yeah. Beautiful Sydney, and it's one of the best places in the world. Now, talk to me about the college football. It's something that everyone wishes they could do, especially like the AFL boys you talk to, and they miss that kind of opportunity if they have a longish career. Some of them can still go, and they've got to commit though, because there's a fair commitment. How did all of it come about? Like, you've obviously got a powerful leg. Clearly, you've got your own business set up of kicking. But where did it all start? And LSU, it's one of the best in the business. So, man, pretty cool to land there. Talk to me about your transition out of AFL and then what come next.
Yeah, so the AFL Players Association had connected with Pro Kick Australia, which is the punting program based out of Melbourne by Nathan Chapman. And I just went to the trial day. There's a couple other AFL boys who just got delisted as well.
Who else was there?
Joel Wilkinson was one.
The big guy from Gold Coast.
Yeah, exactly.
Muscly.
Yep. And then I forget the other guys from the Bulldogs. I can't remember who it was exactly. But yeah, we did it. And then, Nathan's like, yep, you've got potential to do it. Got my academics looked at, because you got to go make sure you're eligible for college. So whether that's from your high school results or if you have been to uni, whether you can transfer in. And that was all clear. So just moved over. I honestly
when you say you just moved over
from South Australia to Melbourne, I was just like,
to Melbourne.
Yeah. So I was going to go back and play in the SNFL and study. And then if I didn't get picked up in the AFL, I wanted to do a transfer over to America anyway, because I was loved college football, loved the university scene and all that. And kind of like when I got delisted, I was like, what the fuck am I going to do with my life? Footy's been my whole thing. I was really what the hell? And I feel like a lot of delisted players probably go through that.
Well, especially being identified at 17, that's the top 12 in the country. That's it's a bit daunting 3 years later to think you got shown the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because all the injuries and that, it's just bizarre.
Yeah. So this was absolutely perfect. And like I said, everything kind of happens for a reason. And I probably wouldn't have pursued it had I'd had it okay, maybe played a few games AFL or whatever, and then kept it going and had that urge. Went back to SNFL, committed to playing AFL. I was like, nah, this is where I want to go. The path was pretty clear. So moved to Melbourne, trained for a year, and got a scholarship to LSU.
That is so cool, man. So you just did training down here, and then they would have recruiters come down and said, we like that guy. You guys all right?
We just send them footage, really? On YouTube.
Yeah?
Seriously, yeah. So I was in a pretty good situation. Well, LSU, Nathan had already got a fella there 4 years before me, Jamie Keane. So it was pretty simple. They was like, hey, because you can only play at college for be there for 5 years, play 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And he was coming to an end. So hey, do you want?
Oh, so they almost needed another.
Yeah, they needed someone. So it was pretty straightforward, but it really is as easy as train you up, film the footage of you punting really well consistently, back kicks after kicks. And they're like, yeah, take him.
When you were training in Melbourne, were you really getting better and better and better? Did you start, because as I've spoken to Aaron Sipos about this, and he's like, there's a genuine art to it. It's not like kicking a Sheridan.
Yeah.
There is that different element. Did you just start getting better and better, and the tapes just become seamless for you by the end?
Yeah, I wouldn't say seamless. You're constantly improving, and you're always going to have bad kicks. But I'd say I never really had a massive kick. Definitely above average. But what Nathan does is so good. So he played AFL. He was number 2 pick. He went over to America and tried out for Green Bay, and then he started Pro Kick Australia. Maybe 16 years ago.
Jeez, I'd love to get him on the pod. Is he based in Melbourne?
Yeah,
I'd love to get him on.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's really good at what he does, and essentially getting the most out of you. And that's what you have to do. The technique, while it's as simple as just kicking, the technical side of it is insane. The ball is so much less forgiving than a footy.
Yeah.
So I just got really, I worked my ass off to just become really consistent. You got to be clean with your hands, because you can only catch the ball and kick it in under 1.2 seconds. You got to be fast.
And
short 2 steps. You got to hit this sweet spot on the ball. Anything slightly inside, outside, too far forward, too far back, too low. Shit. So to get it perfect takes a lot of reps. Yeah.
How many? So say you had 100 kicks, 100 reps at training.
Yeah.
How many of them would you muff?
Oh, mate.
Honestly.
Oh, it's shit. So the thing is, when you start out, you're going to fuck a lot of them. Actually, when you first start, you're actually not too bad, because you're kind of just hitting it like a torp and you're all loose, you're not thinking. But then you go through this period of you're learning the technique and you get real robotic and you're just shit. You feel like you can't even kick 40 meters.
Golf.
Yeah. And then you kind of bring that flair back of footy to the technical side of things, and it starts to meet up. But over 100 kicks, I don't know, some of the good players probably shanking, maybe 10 to 15, but then the others like up to 30, 40. Like, yeah, it just depends on where you are in your journey. But yeah, some guys can still shank a ball and it still goes pretty far.
I went for and you give it a hang time. Yeah. That's interesting. So you get the gig off the film and you go to LSU. So you're there for 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh, how good's that?
Yeah.
So now this is where I want to just combine a little bit of my NFL. I love NFL. I can't keep up with college. I'll be honest. Like I definitely love it, but I don't really. Like NFL, I consume all of it. Okay. So I don't think I've got time to consume the college besides from, the main teams. Yeah. And then obviously all the guns coming through and you're always looking at quarterbacks, wide receivers, especially I am. Did you play with Justin Jefferson?
Yeah.
Jamar Chase?
Yeah.
Like, these are the biggest names in their game. So Joe Burrow was there when you were there. Like, what's it like playing with these? Like, this is the first thing I wanted to ask. I was like, I'm pretty sure you're playing with like some of the greats. What was it like hanging out with these guys?
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably just your mates.
Yeah, well, they're just like teammates, but you can just tell they've got that confidence about themselves and they're going to be superstars. Like, they're putting it on the practice field. They're putting it obviously in games and stuff, and they just shine. Like
the whole training, does everyone just go, gee, did he just do that?
Seriously.
That stuff.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy.
Because in AFL, it's not like, as Toby Green, one of the best players in the game. Like, you'd see at training, it's just like consistent, good body work, goal, kick a goal, takes a good mark. But in NFL, like, it's like full on like
one-handed catch.
Yeah,
like, one-handed. Amazing moments that are just freakish ability. Yeah. And then, I don't know, just, the athleticism about them is just insane.
Wow. So name some more players just so I can get myself up. Because 4 years, it's one of the best programs. You would have had, what's the coach's name again?
So it's Coach Ogeron.
Coach O, was he there as well?
Yeah.
What's he like?
Oh,
his passion and the size of him, he's a machine.
He's just Louisiana through and through. So you'd have to for anyone listening, look him up, listen to his, the way he talks, his voice is just a classic. Yeah. So, sorry, where are we going with this?
Give me some more players.
So it's probably some maybe Devin White was a superstar linebacker, was the best linebacker in college. He's went to the, Tampa Bay, played with Tom Brady, won a Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, he's the one that rides all the horses.
Yeah, the horses, exactly right. Yeah, so there's a few defensive players. Leonard Fournette, who is also.
Did you play with Lenny?
Yeah. He's playoff Lenny.
Playoff Lenny, that's mad.
Then I had some really good players on my punt team. So my two gunners who were running down the ball or lay the tackle was Jamal Adams, who's at Seattle Seahawks, and Tre'Davious White.
Jamal Adams is he's a safety, isn't he?
Yeah, safety. Yep.
So he's your gunner as well.
He's my gunner, and he was actually a legend. And then Tre'Davious White, they're both first round picks. He went to the Bills, I think.
Bills, yeah.
I think he's Pro Bowler as well, maybe. But Jamal was awesome. He realized that tackles on punt team count towards his stats, just tackles in general. You'd classify as a safety tackle, and he kind of every good player still had to play on special teams. So he's like, I'm going to play on punt because I know I only have to run 40, 50 yards and I get tackles. Whereas kickoffs, you got to run 65 yards and you don't really get tackles.
They kneel all the time. Yeah.
So he was gun. He was busting his ass to get down there and making me look real good.
Oh, that's so good to have. Premium gunners while you're punting that thing. Yeah. There's some big names.
Yeah. Oh, mate. I mean, there's a bunch more. Seriously, just good D tackles, good O linemen, tight ends,
Oh man, I probably should have done more research. I just didn't want to do it. I like keeping it fresh.
Definitely Joe, Jamar, and Justin, superstars.
Give me some stories. Are they in the locker room or maybe just at the school? Anything with these dudes? Give all us NFL nuffy something. You know what I mean?
I just remember you got to realize that these guys are 18 to 21 years old, and I was there. I started when I was 22 and 22 to 26, and I remember just walking to the locker room and Joe Burrow sitting there cross-legged on the floor playing his Nintendo DS. I'm just what? I think that is just, it's quite funny, just to realize that they're just kids, man, just freakish kids. And then you're just fucking 2 years, you'll be making millions, and now you look at them and they're killing it. So.
Yeah, well, Joe's about to sign probably the biggest contract. I think they reckon he'll be I know. I think Jalen Hurts is the most.
Oh yeah,
he's got the most at the moment, but they reckon Joe Burrow's just sitting there going, right, you're all done now. I'll take the next one.
Exactly.
Oh wow, he's just done a nasty calf actually, so I'm hoping he gets back because
is it nasty?
It looks nasty, and it's been there several weeks now, and it's dragging on.
Yeah, right.
Knowing the calf muscle well, mate, I reckon he might have nicked a little bit of tendon just looking at it because it was the way he went down wasn't good from a calf muscle. But I'm hoping he's back early, and I think he might even miss a couple at the start of the season. It's that bad. Because, obviously your quarterback goes down, Jamar Chase's stocks go down in fantasy, and you're going, do we take? But those guys, I want to keep just staying on them before we go to you. Those guys, what was it about? Like, was it their preparation? Was it talent? Like, obviously they all work super hard. But Joe, especially Joe, like he's got this just we don't lose mentality. It's like swagger, there's got to be some swagger. Just what is it that you kind of picked up off these guys?
Definitely confidence, and I feel like I wish like in Australia we're a bit more like that. Like we're very much like we don't like to be arrogant or anything like that. And yes, some of those American footballers are definitely arrogant, but Joe had a good combination. No, sorry, like that line, just confident and not arrogant. And I wish I had that more playing footy. Like seriously, like I think a lot of guys would benefit from just having that, bit of swagger about them and confidence and stuff. And I remember there's Joe just transferred over from Ohio State, and he was third string. Like they just put him third string on the depth chart behind the two other guys who'd already been there. And those two top guys like this different style of football. So with college football, like the universities all have their own ball. It's not just like a Sheridan. Oh. Like they've all got, or the NFL where it's just the Duke. It's actually, you get to have your own Nike ball, or if you're at A&M, you've got they use Adidas. So anyway, they were using this ball, and it was a Nike ball, but it was really pointy. It was really, because they had small hands and they like to run with it. Whereas Joe liked the bigger one, which is a way better for punting. So when Joe comes in, I'm like, hey, Joe, like if you get the starting job, can you like make sure you go with this ball? He goes, like, it's not going to be like if, it's just like when. It's like, just relax. So I'm going to get the job. So yeah, just like the way he said it, I was just like, oh, like it wasn't really arrogant. Like it was just real confident. Like, it's fine.
It's funny because like you can take it depends on how you look at the situation. You're like, someone says something with full confidence. Someone, in Australia, our kind of culture is like, oh, look at this bloke, he's full of himself. In America, completely different, isn't it? It's just our cultures and that tall poppy and it is. I'm with you. Like, we used to talk about, writing your goals down and saying it out loud and be proud of it. But you still know inside you're going, fuck, like it's a really ambitious goal and people are like laughing at me, I know, from behind my back, and it's kind of playing on the back of my mind. Where over there, they're like, no, like I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to be the greatest quarterback of all time. And it's like, oh yeah, that's normal. It's normal to say that. That's funny. So you actually went there and said, hey, if you get the gig, like we want the big ball. And he goes, I will get the gig. Don't worry. I got you sorted.
But like, I'm not sure if I don't want people to think that the way I said it was, he was really, really just confident. He wasn't arrogant at all. Yeah.
It looks like that. He's got that humble part of him as well. He's very calm. Like you talk about not being a yo-yo with your emotion. He's just calm, even when he's winning or losing.
Maybe Jalen Hurts is a bit like that too. Maybe that's another thing. Is just, they don't ride the emotions so much. They're just cool-headed the whole time.
Special. So back to your days, LSU. Talk to me about your first game. I'd imagine that is the most nerve-wracking. That first punt would have been just scary.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. Okay, did you muff it?
I thought you were stitching me up.
No, I didn't. I was going to look at all your stuff, and I thought, no, we're going to have a nice chat here, and I want to know, because otherwise it becomes boring if I know the answers.
For sure. So my literally first ever game of college football, of American football, is at Lambeau Field, so Green Bay Packers Stadium, packed out against Wisconsin. In front of probably 90 to 100,000 people. Yeah, insane. And bit of a funny story. Like I was someone, so you hit a traditional spiral, like a torp, just 2 steps straight spiral, or we can do like a rollout, more Aussie style, couple of steps, launch it like a drop punt. And my coach didn't want the opposition knowing really what I was, like knowing about the rollout one.
Like your capabilities of doing it later.
So in warm-ups, and because they had no footage of me, I've never played a game before, so they didn't know. So in warm-ups, I wasn't practicing those rollout ones, just the spirals. And then the first kick, they called, hey, roll out drop one. And like, it was a good kick. It's gone 40 odd yards, like what you want, but it's just gone out of bounds too soon. It's hit the side of my foot and just gone out of bounds. And it's quite a narrow field. So probably marked down at like 20 odd yards, which is no good. So had a few good little ones, like pinning them deep, like pin something like inside the 5. We end up getting a turnover on that and scoring. But then a few other shit ones as well.
In your first game?
Yeah.
What was the coach's comments to you after that? They stick with you, or they're like, mate, you need to switch on?
I can't get much worse. Nah, then the next week, like that week of training, like, they're all like getting around me like, hey, we need a better game or whatever. And then like probably like 3 or 4 games later, had like absolute ripper game in front of Shaq, actually. Shaquille O'Neal was there. So just hitting spirals.
At home?
Yeah, at home, just hitting spirals. Hit some like 68 yarders, like massive. Like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I think I just hit like one good one early and got the confidence up, and then actually had like one late in the game to kind of save the game for us. So yeah, that's kind of when it kind of switched for me. After about 5 games, I was kind of
It's becoming more like, I reckon people are starting to realize how important it is. Like, I reckon back in the day, even when we spoke to Benny Graham, it's like there's a bit of a stigma there. We're like, we don't talk to the punters or whatever. And now it's like, they're like really embracing him. You're seeing Justin Tucker, who's obviously the kicker, but like he's like, he gets a bit more clout than the wide receivers sometimes. So it's like everyone's starting to really get around every division and understand how important they all are.
Yeah,
I know, like there's a lot of Aussie punters out there now that, like Dicko from Seattle, like, when he gets the ball, the crowd's cheering him. Like, they love him because he always pins them deep and gives them a chance. It must be a great feeling when you pin that ball deep and like a Jamal Adams is up the side pinning some bloke on the goal line.
Seriously, yeah, no, it's sick. And I think that might be through like just the punting game getting better and better, like the Aussies going over and just smashing it.
Cleaning it up.
Yeah, and then it is that exciting. And yeah, now like at college, like you do have the rollout opportunities. It adds a little bit more of elements, kind of getting into the NFL.
I was going to say, why doesn't it get into the NFL, the rollout? And the big, even like a banana when you're 30 out, just kicking a real, how hard is a banana? It's going all over the joint and it bounces everywhere. Like I'm surprised we don't see more chaos balls around when you're 50 yards, 40 yards out and you can't kick it.
There's like, I reckon Sipos has hit a couple of bananas. That happens. But there's a rule different between college and NFL where only the gunners can release on the snap to get down the field in NFL, whereas in college, everyone can go down. So the benefit of holding, like, of the rollout is you hold on to it longer. So it's not 1.2 seconds, it might be like 2.5 seconds. And that gives you guys more time to get down the field. But in NFL, it just that benefit's not really there because only the 2 guys can.
So there's actually more time for the receiver to get it and run in NFL. Because there's only 2 gunners.
Yeah, exactly.
The gunners are they always like like on special teams, as we're talking about here. For anyone out there that doesn't understand what we're talking about, like it's the 2 guys that on the side that run really quickly and try to tackle the other guy that's receiving the ball. The gunners, are they like, how do they select them? Because there's obviously like, does it just go purely on speed, and are they looking for someone that's dog hungry for a tackle? They don't wide receiver, like, is it? Yeah.
So what do I have? I usually had just defensive backs because we've come down, we're on 4th down, right, on the offensive play. So if your receivers have just played 3 downs and they may have ran like
fatigued.
Exactly right. So you have your defenders come on and do it. Defensive players. So typically maybe there was some, I had tight ends like in the shield, like to help block and then cover. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's mainly defensive backs. You're fast, like you said, guys who can tackle. And that's the other thing because receivers don't really tackle.
Yeah.
So it's good to be.
You don't want them to get banged up.
Yeah.
Talk to me. I got 2 scenarios here. Was there ever a time where you got absolutely smoked?
I know I've been hit and you put on a bit of a to try and get a flag. A couple of times, nothing crazy. There's my one of the bowl games, kind of got hit and did like a little pirouette type of thing and we did get a flag on it, but nothing crazy.
What about when you're pinned really deep and you're in the end zone for the opposition? Do you get a bit nervous because you're standing right back there? Like, is that really hard to get your head around?
Yeah, luckily it doesn't happen too much, but I was always someone who practiced it and embraced it. The good thing about it is the snap usually comes from 15 yards. Now it's coming from like 10, 12 yards. So there's 3 extra yards to add to your stats. Because for people that don't know, the punt doesn't count from where you kick it from.
Oh.
It's from the line of scrimmage.
Oh, that's
so when I say 40 yards, like I'm actually kicking it 53 yards. but it's only counts from line of scrimmage. So there's a little cheeky way of getting a few extra yards.
Yeah, that's good.
When they backed up. So I always like to embrace it. But yeah, it is like they're right there. You see them and you know they're coming because the chances of them blocking it again, because they're only having to run 12 yards, not 15, is higher. So, yeah, good times.
Are you getting back to Louisiana a lot for like once a year? Are they really good at embracing past players? What's the relationship like with the college?
Well, the staff has completely changed.
Oh, right.
Like, I don't know if there's anyone there who's still there, maybe like a athletic trainer or something.
Okay.
Yeah, from top to bottom, it just completely changed. So, I don't know.
So when you email, you never know who to email now?
yeah, I don't know.
So it's
I literally might just show up. But yeah, no, I go back to the States every year, well, after COVID. And I mean, I was in the northwest of Louisiana on this trip, but just going through, but didn't get down to like Baton Rouge where the college is or anything. But I think, like go back during the season and like, but I just don't know when. Yeah.
Was college hard?
Like studying, there was hard moments, definitely. Like I had to take some physics and like chemistry style classes in a condensed period of time while still training. Mm-hmm. So that was it can be hard, but it's definitely like it is full on. Like your schedule's full on. Like you wake up, you got weights in the morning, you go to class.
The whole team as well?
Yeah, the whole team. Yep. Like you come in at different times throughout the day, depending on your class
like
schedule.
An AFL program.
Yeah. So then you go to class for 2-3 hours. Then you have tutoring for an hour. You get a quick lunch in. Then you have meetings for like 2 hours. Go to practice for 3 hours. Have dinner. Then it's studying. It might be more tutoring. And then you're doing it all again the next day. Like it's pretty full on, but don't get me wrong, there's some great times.
When you're drinking and carrying on at all these parties and that, like this is where I used to think, okay, well if you're training so hard and studying so hard, how do you get all that? How do you sneak in the partying?
It's very doable. Remember my first year, we were going out on like a Thursday night and stuff like that.
And Saturdays as well?
Saturday nights, obviously, yeah. And like, it's crazy. The bars are packed after home games. Like it is insane. And
everyone gets around everyone?
Oh, big time. Yeah.
And because you boys are like, this is, because you're the footballers. Yeah. They just love yous.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
And do you wear your jackets? No.
Well, some guys did.
Some guys wear the jackets.
I mean, the bars used to shut at like 2, and sometimes we wouldn't get out of the locker room until like 12:30. So like it was like I literally live 50 meters away from like my favorite bar. So I'd go home and get changed. But sometimes like if it's coming from like an away game, we'd come back in and you may even have an hour at the bar. It would be just like, you just fuck it, just go straight in.
Oh, it's so good, man. It's so good. I remember when we went to Alabama and we went out after the game. We were tailgating. You're not allowed to drink at the stadium, which is quite hard. So we were getting pretty pissed in the morning, and then you go to the game, and then after it was just packed.
Yeah.
I'd imagine every college towns like that.
Yeah, I reckon they changed that now. I think you can drink in the.
I hope so.
Yeah,
it was
definitely
like
at LSU. You
thrashed before it, then you just
then you kind of sober up a bit. Yeah.
We snuck some vodka in the Gatorade bottle, but but like I can imagine, it's a bit of a weird setup. You just get absolutely tonked and then roll in. 100,000 screaming. It's mate, it's. Yeah, well done. Like, not many people have done what you've done. What's the fondest memory of LSU?
Literally, actually, hands down, we had a game against Auburn. We always had some great games against them, and we kicked. I had a really good punt, pinned them deep, 3-yard line with like a couple minutes left. That got us the ball back, and then we kicked a game-winning field goal, and had all the boys in the stadium watching. Like actually, Blake Akers was there, Jack Steele was there, a couple of AFL boys.
Oh, how cool!
And we got this like. Yeah, it was just like absolutely amazing. They all came down after the game, like down to the sideline. They're all reek of alcohol. And we got this ripper photo of all the boys, like a couple of mates from back home.
Oh, that's so
it was just so cool. And like I knew they were there, so had this punt. And I never usually never really carry on, but it was a big moment. It was a good punt. I'm like doing this like chainsaw celebration for
yes.
That was easily like just the whole combination of everything. And it was like a day game too. So then we had the whole night to just get after it, and we got after it.
I mean, you got to celebrate the wins. You got to celebrate the wins. Most hostile environment to play at?
I found Florida Gators in the swamp was pretty hostile. They're so you're supposed to have a bit of room on the sideline to like just stand around. There's got like 80 odd people on the team. But then just to kick into the net and keep warm on the sideline, well, we've got about you to me away from the fans. Like it's literally.
Oh, so you're practicing in front of these.
And they're yelling, screaming. People are chucking like empty like little bottles that they've snuck in at you. Like it is chaos.
Wow.
And we always had some pretty good games against them too.
Tim Tebow, that's his. Yeah. And Hernandez and all that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And they reckon it's a bit, is it something in the air or is it humidity or the heat? There's something challenging, I reckon I read up about that place. It becomes harder for other teams. Is that right?
Yeah, humidity would probably be one, but where Louisiana's pretty similar. Exactly. Yeah,
exactly right. And then one more question while I'm just interested, just the helmets, just like I've put a helmet on before. How did you go adjusting to all the kit that you got to wear and then being able to, kick a premium punt or torp or whatever you're doing? How was that? Do you adapt quickly?
Yeah, so it's a bit restrictive. And like you got this face shield that kind of blocks your vision a little bit, but I don't know. We trained with that at Pro Kick Australia for 12 months, so we got used to it.
So you do get used to it?
Yeah, you do. And like I'd always use it as a bit of like, again, always try and flip things and turn it into a positive. It's like, the helmet narrows your focus a little bit and like whatever. But you do want to kick with like you always kick better when you got nothing. Like it's easy, like casual.
Well, I remember when we put the kit on, when we went to the New York Jets facility years ago, and I was going, how do they move so well with all this stuff on?
It's crazy. I think like the receivers and stuff, like how they see it.
Like your man Jefferson, like when JJ takes these one-handers and he's twisting in that, it's like you got to remember when you're watching TV, it looks easy, but they've got the blinkers on. Exactly. You can't really see like the peripherals and that.
Lights, so many cues, visual cues. It's crazy.
As you know, they've probably done it their whole life. Before we get into your business stuff, as you know, you don't come on here empty-handed, right? And I want to get into this at the moment because I've got a story to tell you. So I'll start with the Rixies, mate. The reason I got you these, I've got you the Rix Eyewear, I've got you the Black Orbits because there's a story behind this. And it's because Odell Beckham Jr. has worn this exact pair at a game at LSU. Yes. So him and Brad Wing, I think they were there together. But they were there courtside, down on the ground at one of your games. You might have even been punting. And this is, kidding, I don't know, I'll have to look it up. Yeah. But I remember being at home and he's worn a few pairs, but he hadn't worn a pair for a while. And then bang, the Black Orbits popped up and there he is. He had the gold, I won't say yellow, but a gold jacket on. And it was a great moment for us at Rix. And I just thought,
what year that was, by any chance?
I'll be able to find out. Okay. We've got all like our Google Drive with all our celebrity folders, and OBJ is one of the biggest ones. And I'll be able to find out. Okay, and cool. I'll talk to you after this and we'll get it up. But I'll find out if you're punting. So, mate, throw these on. That's yours. Lovely, mate. And for anyone else out there, as you know, head online at rixeyewear.com.au and use the discount code ACES at checkout and you'll get a 20% off and free express shipping. We've also got a deal at the moment where if you use the code apparel50 as well and just buy a pair of sunnies, you'll get 50% off our premium hoodies that we just launched. Mate, so that's yours.
Awesome. Appreciate that.
My pleasure. With Rix, it's Rix on tour. So you're a well-traveled man. As you said, you speak Spanish. So you're probably a great person to ask here. If there were two, let's go college teammates, we might not know who they are. We might. I want you to tell me who the two you take on tour with you, with your Rix, and what location would you go?
Wow. You're probably not going to know these guys. Zach Von Rosenberg, he was another punter, and he was older than me, which was nice because I was always got shit for being the oldest guy on the team.
Yeah.
So it was nice for him to come on, and good mate. Bijan Ballas. Yes, Bijan. He was a long snapper. Just caught up with him back in Houston the other week. So he's my boy.
That's great. You guys would have had a special bond, that little division, don't you?
Yeah.
I trust. He's got to sling that ball back to you nice and perfect. Right. And where are you going? Where you taking the Rixies, mate? You love a bit of sun, the big Adonis, the nice rig.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I've just got back from Central America. I reckon somewhere in Europe. I'm thinking Switzerland. Yeah.
Switzerland?
Yeah.
I've seen photos of people just recently there on Instagram and all. Geez, it's stunning, that place. The waterfalls and the landscape and that. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, but in the summer.
Yeah. There you go. Beautiful. Well, as I said, rickseyewear.com.au. Use our discount code ACES and get 20% off and free express shipping. And they're the Black Orbits on Joshy and obviously OBJ, the LSU Kings. Matt, you can take them off. Let's get back into it. Let's talk about your business, the Kicking Consultant. Where did all that start? Was it another transition phase? Like, did you find the transition from LSU, daunting because it's like now your footy career was over, or was there actually potential that you're going to go on to the NFL? Like what was going on at the end of your tenure?
Yeah, so a lot of people actually don't know this, but after I graduated from LSU, I actually went and played at West Virginia University. So I spent a season there.
Oh, right.
It was literally last minute, like halfway through training camp, got there, played. Like long story, won't go into it. But then after that, yes, had a pretty good season. I was like, okay, let's try out for the next level. I was not expecting NFL, but you're at that point, you may as well try out. But more the Canadian Football League, which is like pretty good semi-pro. You get paid pretty good money for just 6 months of the year.
What would you get paid just for the people
probably like 60 to 60, maybe 90
US
K Canadian, which is pretty comparable, like maybe a little bit more than Australian.
Nice.
For just 6 months, like of work, whatever. So, but COVID happened, cancelled all the things, like all the tryouts.
2020.
Yeah. And then, so I just went back home and I was like, if I knew I was a gun, like superstar, massive leg, I would have kept pursuing it. But I was like, it's just not meant to be like.
Yeah. Okay. So you didn't think that you kind of looked at your stats or what?
I just looked at guys who were better than me beforehand who didn't make it either.
Oh, right.
And I was like, if they can't make it, like, I'm not going to waste my time. And I've seen people like really like, pursue it. It's like, mate, like, just give it up. Like, good on you, but come on.
You're burning it
and I never wanted to be like that. And was very happy just with getting my college degree, like playing a couple of years and then seeing what would happen after that. And but it wasn't until I was in the moment, I was like, well, you'd be an idiot to not try. Like, why not?
Yeah.
You'd hate to look back and think, I regret not trying.
So you got your college degree. That's great. Congratulations.
Yeah,
was that really tough?
Yeah. So like I said before, there's some tough times, tough classes and stuff like that. But got it in sports science, which was really good. So the university, LSU, tried to push you down like a sports admin, which is a lot easier because then they know you're going to get you a class. You'd be eligible to play and stuff because you're not failing classes or anything like that.
You have to pass classes to play, right?
Exactly right. So, but no, I stuck with sports science and I'm very happy and got that done.
All the wide receivers, they were like, mate, just do it. Just do the easy class, mate. You don't need to worry about that. You're going to be getting millions.
Seriously, yeah.
That's awesome. So you've actually got a sports science degree behind you and has that what's propelled you into the Kicking Consultant business?
Yeah, for sure. So it's a combination of having the AFL background, actually not having a good kick back then. Like, seriously, and it's crazy when I got to the Giants, I was like, we worked on kicking, but there was never really we never got film analysis or anything like that. But then going and literally punting a ball for a year under Nathan Chapman, analysing it, learning about it, and then 5 years of just kicking, and it's a combination of drop punts and torps, and then coming back, getting that degree, and then I actually, during COVID, got my master's in high performance sports, so going like another level with it, and it's this whole combination of, look, there's a lack of good coaching for it. I played in 2020 for my old club back in the country, and just the lack of good coaching on an individual level. It's all about the game plan.
I agree with you. There's no specialist coaching out there, and if they are, they're not. They're probably more analytical versus like coach. You know what I mean? They're just
not much technique. It's probably more like the game style and stuff like that. So it's a combination of all that. Knowing, and again, this is where it's like COVID and I've just, moved from America. It's like, again, what the am I going to do with my life? Like, knowing that I wanted to be in sports, but I'm back in country SA, living with mum and dad, building farm machinery for a job. Like, it was grim. And then started the masters online, got it done, and then moved to Adelaide. And then I got into the coaching for Pro Kick Australia in Adelaide. But this is where it really kicks off. TikTok. Posted some videos on TikTok of me just kicking the footy, kicking some torps, and they just did well, went viral, got good views.
Yeah, viral.
And then I did kind of have like a little website already made for like some like strength and conditioning type of stuff because I got my accreditation in that as well. And then I was just getting emails, just a bunch of emails. Like people were like, hey, can you help with my kicking, Like, and I was like, oh, like I'm on here. Like I'm on to something.
From
So TikTok, yeah.
And you had the link in the bio and they were just smacking it, or were they going?
Yeah. I guess I did. Yeah, obviously. And like that was before like I had even come up with a name or anything. It was just under Josh Groudon. And then, quickly just got it rolling and just went from the kicking side of things and then finished my master's. And I'm like, okay, well, who can I help the most with what I've got and what I've been through and stuff? And it's really transitioned from the kicking's a big part of it, but like not now the high performance for local footballers, for strength and conditioning, nutrition, the mental side of things, all of that. So do that through an online training program.
That's awesome, mate. That's awesome. Congratulations. It's mate, it's and I want to really pump this up. So while we're on it, where do people head? Like you've got all the links obviously on your Kicking Consultant Instagram, TikTok and all that. What programs are you offering? What age groups? Let's get it all out there. So if there's parents listening or people that are listening that actually are local footballers, what services are you offering so they can get their head around it all?
Well, I think the first thing is like whatever your favorite social media platform is, just put in the Kicking Consultant and you'll see me. I'm pretty much across all of them. Post a lot of free stuff, free tips, insights and everything like that. And then you can just go to the link that's on my social media profile. I can download a free kicking guide that I used to charge for and now I just give it out for free. But that helps everyone. Like it's really, really good guide that goes through phases, starting with like the fundamentals and like, and then progressing and like seriously anyone of all age, like, yeah. And like I've had people write reviews on it. You know, I've been playing, for 20, I'm in my mid-30s and I've learned more from this than I ever have. So but then I mainly like, it's been a big thing. Like obviously when you start out, like, okay, I'm just trying to help whoever. I'll take on whoever. I'll do one-on-ones with whoever. But now I've started to realize like who I can help the most is literally people in their 20s.
Yep.
It's people guys in their 20s, females in their 20s, just because I guess what I've learned through punting and the technical side of things to get more penetration, more distance in your kick, it gets wasted on the youngsters and stuff like that. So free stuff, youngsters go for it. But if you really want good coaching from me, I can help the most. It's the 20-year-olds, people in their 20s. And then again, with the online strength and conditioning, the nutrition, again, like I've got this program built out for anyone between 18 and 30. And it's just a small group, high-end, high-level coaching for people who just want to be better footballers, but also better in their like lifestyle, have better mental and physical well-being. So.
It's like an elite program, isn't it? Like it's not just kicking. You're offering like a wider range of products there.
Exactly. Yeah.
What are the like? What's it cost? Because people would be wondering what's it cost. I want to ask this because I want to get everyone that listens to our platforms, all our podcasts and that. Our audience is right on the money here. So I'm hoping we can send a lot of traffic down your way. Well, so what prices? How's it tiered? How do we do? Is it one-on-one coaching? Is it online? All of it, like programs.
So my main thing is this, the AFL online training program. It's, like I said, for male footballers in their 20s, no matter where you live in Australia. I've actually had a guy in America do it, but it covers everything and it's application only. So first thing would be to apply and then I kind of see like based on your application if you're a good fit.
So you're filtering it and going, I'm not going to waste my time.
Because some people just say like, I just want to, I don't know, I just want to. They just what they say. It's just not.
I want to look. I just want to learn on my banana, kick a banana, and
like,
you're like, come on, man.
I want to be fit. And so, okay, well, like people are like, no, like I want to. Like I've been stuck in the resis for too long, and I just want to get the most out of myself. And I feel like if I could just get stronger and be better in the contest, then I'll have a better chance. And that's the person I want to work with.
Yeah, people that genuinely want to get better and actually,
people were saying like, just want to take my game to another level. I'm in my mid to late 20s, and just want to get the most out of myself to help win a flag and maybe get a BNF or something like that. So they're the people, and I sense that, and then do a webinar and like provide the information, go over the cost.
Sounds like a customized package depending on what people inquire in.
Exactly right. So I do have 2 tiers. One where it is that more stuff with me, more customization. I actually have a bit of a team like with other strength coaches as well. And then there's another tier where it's a lot more affordable, but you kind of less coaching. You're kind of going about not on your own, but less like one-on-one stuff like that. For the main tier, it's 3,300 for 6 months, and then for the lower tier, it's like 2,220.
Yeah,
and that's where it's at the moment. And it's honestly, it's kind of where it was last year. I'm like, it's really worth more. But what I've learned through business is you just got to make something so good. Like, it's not about being fair, like cost to value. It's like, it's got to be way more valuable that the person going is like, it'd be stupid not to get it. And that's what I've learned. And that's what it is. Like, the value far outweighs, and you'll see, because that gets you good reviews. That's what allows you to keep it going.
And this is great. And as I said, we're coming up to the end of the season, so no doubt you have all your pre-season programs in place. I've seen all the reviews as well, and they're all just so positive. So well done. It's so how long have you been going for now?
So probably with the Kicking Consultant, just over 2.5 years.
Yep.
And then this, like, when I've gone more, once I finished my masters and got away from, now it's more that higher end stuff. That's been going just for 12 months now, going into its second
cool.
year. Yeah.
What's next for the Kicking Consultant and yourself? Like, where do you see the business growing? Is it just doing more of this, getting more people to sign up?
Yeah, I think like another thing that I've learned through business is it's like 3 things like you want to do with something. You got like, make it better, do it more, and then do something different. Like that, don't just go around doing something different. Like, do what you've got and make it better. And then do more, so maybe get more people involved, which would be good because then I can hire more people, and that's providing a job for someone else, which I'm really, really passionate about. And then it might be switching it out and switching to something else. And I think the American football is definitely something I want to get more into, like being involved with Pro Kick Australia. I've done work with, those professional punters and stuff, and I wouldn't mind going down that a bit more. And almost like I work the off season for both sports is kind of where it might go with things. Yeah,
you got that sports science background anyway, so you can kind of go anywhere.
Yeah, and then with it being online for the most part, I can go wherever. So,
what does your week look like? I'm really interested into your week.
Yeah.
Being an online program, is a lot is not on Zoom or Google Meets or bloody Microsoft Teams. Is there? Which one do you use?
Zoom.
Zoom. You're a Zoom man.
That's funny because I had a Zoom call yesterday with this fella from Lumen Sports in Adelaide, and they're a sports tech company, and they first is Microsoft Teams. So I get on 10 minutes early, make sure like I've got the account set up. Wasn't working.
Yeah.
Like needed to like download or something. And he goes, Google Meets. I'm like, what have you got against Zoom? But we ended up being on the Google Meet. So
Google Meet works really easily for me. Just being Gmail, it's like seamless.
Well, I'm a big Google person. So when he sent the link, I never used it before, but I hit bang and then popped up.
Straight in. Where Teams, I have a nightmare. I think the Giants use Teams, and when you do calls, it's like when people send you a Teams invite, I'm going, oh no. And then you get on there and you scream. Yeah, it's all right. But Zoom's fine. Zoom works a treat. And I'm sure people out there know what we're talking about. They're probably going, you peanuts, work it out. What does your week look like?
So it's pretty chill. It's really good. Like kind of being able to create this lifestyle that I want. So, I just get up, go do a bit of work. I like to do. I kind of mix it up. I either go to the gym straight away, or I'll do a bit of work then go to the gym. Like to do a bit of work early, like in the day, and then have a coffee, do a bit more, and then around lunchtime I go to Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Nice.
Yeah, and then takes me to like mid-afternoon, do a bit more work, and then might go for a walk. Probably have got some messages from people who are in my training program. Then probably typically in the past, like it might be like a one-on-one or something in the afternoon with some kicking, and then have a feed. Maybe do a little bit more. Like then it probably gets to like posting some content in the afternoon, like around that 5-6 o'clock time.
And you're doing all that yourself?
Yeah, doing that on myself.
I feel you, bro.
I don't mind it. I enjoy it.
I mean, you got to get control and message everyone and say, it's like it takes you time, but it's good.
Yeah, and then night just chilling out. I'm big like for the last year I've been real like focused on like personal development and growing the brand and stuff like that. So I'm listening to podcasts, reading books and stuff like that. It's kind of what I do in a bit of my spare time, doing the Spanish and stuff. But like it's really good. Like it is just I kind of can pick when I work the best, and that's when I go. Like that's what I do. So like mid-morning doing stuff like might be fixing up someone's program or something like that, or like they might we change this, or like I've hurt my something or whatever it is, changing it, or then it's just working on the business, finding ways to grow the business as opposed to really working in the business. And I guess that's kind of it. Yeah.
How do you set up this? Is it with your tech and your video? Like, how's it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how much work's gone into all of that to allow you now to be able to just go through your day like you just said, where it's like, when you say you're working in the morning and lunchtime and arvos, you mean you're just tweaking programs, talking to people that you're consulting with? Is that what you mean by?
Yeah, a little bit like that. Like, might be going and filming exercises to put into the program, and a lot of that like was done on the front end, or like being like a month ahead of where it was. So like filming the exercises, upgrading them to be not just like a demonstration, but like actually talking through it. So that's like having someone come film, I'm mic'd up, got another coach there, we're going through it. It's like organizing to have like AFL nutritionists come in and provide a presentation. It's working with like, organizing just other ways to make my program better. And like I said, kind of growing that side of things. And then, like when I do like kicking now, it's more in a masterclass form. So I'll get a videographer to come out, they'll film it, and then they can chop that up into like a YouTube video, and then like there's my content as well. I don't know. Like it's funny. Like I definitely work. I feel like I definitely work a lot, but doesn't feel. I enjoy it all, so it doesn't feel too.
I know what you're saying. It's very different. So people, it's not like you're sitting in there and it's repetitive stuff. The business evolves and the changes, and you've got different clients. So it's different things, different calls and different questions all the time. Exactly. It's good. I was keen to just ask what your routine's like. It's good. It sounds like you got a really good routine.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna tell you what. I need to start hanging out with you. I'm all over the shop at the moment.
I'm all over the shop at the moment. That was more back when I was settled in South Australia. Like I said, just got back overseas, kind of finding my feet here in Melbourne. So got to get back into
based in Melbourne.
Yeah, basing myself in Melbourne at the moment. So for the foreseeable future at least, and just see how that goes. Yeah,
brilliant, mate. Well, as I said, Kicking Consultant. Get online if you're a young gun who needs to level up.
Not even a young gun. You mean you've been in your 20s,
or a young? That's what I mean. Young, not a gun. Someone that wants to level up though.
Exactly.
And the coaches aren't giving you what you need. You know exactly where to go, mate. Our friends here from Sports Where I Am, this will be a good one because I've got I want you to flip that up, then that's for you. Sports Where I Am, are you aware of who Sports Where I Am are?
Yes, I'm very aware of Sports Where I Am.
The boys, they're doing some amazing things. And as I keep saying, they have just released the NBA schedule. So if anyone out there wants to go check that out, the NBA schedule's out now. So if you want to book your tickets and you're going overseas, well, you know where to go, sportswheream.com. Mate, they are Aussie guys with a sports platform where you can book all your ticketing. It's fully vetted. They're Aussie guys, Aussie customer service. They're doing amazing things. I actually just booked some tickets to the Jets and Giants the other day, which would be a cracker. As we know, it only happens every 4 years or whatever it is, and we've got Aaron Rodgers there. Now, mate, you've got a card there that Sports Where I Am boys provide, and has a city on it, and it has some events that you can buy tickets to. Read out what you've got and the options, and then tell me which one you'd pick out of all of them.
Oh, okay. So I've got the lovely Las Vegas. Great place to visit.
Oh, Vegas.
So good.
Campbell Brown's, I always think of Campbell Brown when we think of Vegas. He said, mate, when I'm done, sprinkle my ashes off the Cosmopolitan and put me down the strip. That's me. Look, he loves that place. Okay.
Oh, it is so good. I'm definitely going to the Grand Prix.
Grand Prix?
Formula One, yes, for sure. I've been watching a lot of Drive to Survive. And yeah, I mean, I'm a huge NFL fan. I'd love to go to the ice hockey, but yeah, that Formula One would be epic.
There you go, the F1. Well, mate, Sports Where I Am, you've got it right here. $250 voucher. That's for you. So when you go back over there, hopefully it goes towards the ticket to the F1. And that's from our friends at Sports Where I Am. And if anyone else out there wants to head online at sportswheream.com, use the discount code ACES and you'll get a nice percentage off at checkout whilst you're booking all your sporting experiences. So, mate, there you go. F1. I didn't think that. I thought you were going to go I didn't think you'd go I thought you'd go maybe something different from NFL. But F1, that's our first F1. So
there you go.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So what's next, mate? Like, what's next for you? Just business. Is there anything other side hustles going on? Like, maybe we need to talk about setting up some college podcasts or something. I feel like you're the only guy based down. Is there anyone else based down here?
Yeah. I mean, like there's other guys who've come back from college, Melbourne based, and there's other like college and NFL podcasts out there and based in Melbourne.
Got to get them down here.
Yeah, for sure. But like the next intake for my AFL training program, like off season, is coming up. So it's just about getting guys on board for that and getting them going. And then, I probably might do like an Australia tour, doing like master classes, kicking stuff around the country.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then, just enjoying when it gets to summer here and hanging out. And then
the big Rigosaurus out. Hey,
mate, she's a bit
you still got it, the Rigosaurus?
Mate, I reckon 2 months overseas, no trains, going down here.
It does go down here. When you've got no base as well, I tell you, it goes down here quickly.
And then, head back overseas. Probably come May, go to the States, and then wouldn't mind spending some time in Europe, continue working while I'm overseas, and like I said, maybe getting a bit more into the American football, helping out our Aussies who are over in America at the moment.
Yeah, that's cool. Are you still keeping in contact with a lot of your teammates and all that? Like, is that like you guys all follow each other, or you got numbers and all that? Like, how does it work when you're at college? It's because it's a very individual kind of like team sport, isn't it? Which that makes sense, there's offensive divisions, defense, special teams. It's very different to kind of AFL when I speak to people about it. Yeah. Do you still keep in contact with as many as you can? Yeah,
as many as I can, and it is more the specialists, so like your kickers and punters. So like I said, one of my good mates back in Houston, caught up with him, and then like the other Aussie who was in front of me, like Jamie, just called him the other day, like keep in touch with him. And then the kicker, we've got a pretty good group. We spent like 3 or 4 years together.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so definitely them. I think Joe Burrow still follows me on Twitter, so we're messaging back and forth. But it is like, obviously like they've gone off and they're doing their thing. So, don't really keep in touch with a lot of those guys. But they're down to earth. Just the shit
don't
kickers.
Forget about the big fella who pinned them deep and helped them win all those games. You know what I mean? It's brilliant. What about your NFL, mate? Let's talk a bit of NFL before I ask you about your Milwaukee tool handiest moment while I hand you that heated jacket. No doubt you were hot, kicking a few absolute spirals.
I'll tell you what, I need that that heated jacket here in Melbourne. It's not good.
Well, it's been warm some days. I think it was 1 degree. Next minute it's 20 degrees. You can't work out the weather down here. But NFL.
Yes.
You're a big man. You're a big fan of NFL. What do you think is going to happen this season? Have you got anyone that you think though, like just a team that you're real like? Who do you support?
So I don't really support a team anymore. It is more just like the boys.
Fantasy.
My fantasy team, seriously. Yeah. And like just wanting to see the guys go well. Like so, obviously watching Joe and like Justin Jefferson. Like I said, definitely. Like just want to see Joe win. Like I think after the Super Bowl loss, it'd be good for them to bounce back. But in terms of teams, geez, what do you reckon? The Jets just signed who's the running back they just got?
Yeah, they just got Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
No one would have thought that Dalvin Cook and Aaron Rodgers would link up, obviously being at Minnesota and Green Bay, and now they're at the Jets. I think there's a Moz on Hard Knocks, though. I don't think anyone on Hard Knocks has ever gone near it. So I'm a bit worried about that Moz.
Look, I don't know how it's going to. I've
always been a Jets man. That's where my passion started. I met Eric Decker back in the day, and that's where I got the tour. That's what I was talking about earlier when we put the helmets on. Got all the Jets gear, so ready to go there. Obviously, Baltimore Ravens fan, so I'll be cheering on the Ravens.
Yeah.
But there's probably about a handful. I reckon there's like Dallas. I really like Dallas, Philly, and San Fran. Yeah. I think those three on that side.
Who's San Fran's quarterback?
Brock Purdy will probably Trey Lance is like the one that's in the media, like they're saying he won't fit the scheme. But I reckon Brock Purdy's back and Christian McCaffrey. I think I saw on TikTok yesterday or something like they had the highest paid quarterback, Jalen Hurts, $51 million. Then it was like highest paid tight end was Darren Waller, $17 million. And then I didn't realize, but C-Mac's getting paid like $36 million this year.
Oh shit!
And now this clip, I'm going off this clip, so you don't quote me on it. And it was and who was the highest paid wide receiver? I was trying to remember who that was for the year, but I can't remember who that was. But but Christian McCaffrey's like an absolute star. And I don't think he had time to get the playbook last year.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's had all the, he's going to be like, they'll build the whole offense around him. And if it's not him, Debo, they got Ayuk, they got Kittle, they got so many weapons.
Got some weapons, yeah.
So I reckon their defense is amazing.
Yeah, right. And that's probably where, like, when you think of a team, like, who's going to play well, you forget the defenses. And that's obviously like
offense.
Yeah. Because you think of your fantasy players and stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, I remember Christian McCaffrey in college. Man, he was so good.
Oh, you watching him? Playing against him?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Never played against him. He was in different conference and stuff. But Leonard Fournette was like both coming out, and I was like, oh, like Christian McCaffrey, he is the man. And then he had the injury and stuff, and it's like, oh, I really hope he can get back to
so he'll be a star. And then you go to the other side of it. Like I said, I think the Ravens will be strong. Bengals were like, if Joe Burrow's okay early, you got to win those games, obviously.
Yeah.
Chiefs will be strong again.
Yeah.
Bills, and who else? I mean, that division, it's like Bills, Miami, Jets, Patriots. Like that is like good luck to any of you in that division. I feel like it's going to bang each other up.
Well, that was the thing. Like, it used to just be Patriots, like, got Tom Brady. It was just like, it's always going to be the Patriots. Now it's like, okay, like, who we got?
Yeah, and even they've made a fair few moves, like in the offset. I think Zeke just went to the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Juju Smith-Schuster went there.
I don't know about you.
Nah, I don't think he's the guy, but I think they're still making moves. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I've probably forgotten some teams, but yeah, I mean,
So Cowboys is still Dak?
Yep, still Dak.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't throw as many. I think he came out he came out and said, I'm not going to throw more than 10 picks this year. And I think he threw 2 picks that next session to Diggs. I think he picked him off twice, and everyone's like, well, he's already nearly on 10 at training camp. So it's brilliant. The season will be good.
Yeah, I'll be getting into it now that fantasy football's coming around.
Yeah,
so
I reckon I'm probably another week away from getting right in, just with all work. It's been pretty hectic, but there's a lot of injuries that happen this time of year, and I think
can still change teams and stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else. Have we missed any other teams that we forgot to talk about on that left side of the AFC?
Well, Seahawks, are they in it?
Yeah, they'll be pretty solid. They'll be solid. I think they're on the other side.
Denver with
Denver will be good
Russell
to watch.
Wilson.
Actually, it'll be good to see how they go. I'm looking forward to week 5, Denver v Jets. A lot of drama with the coaches going at it and spraying the offensive coordinator, obviously the old coach of the Broncos. Now, mate, Milwaukee Tools, they're a massive sponsor of this show, and you don't come on here, obviously, and go home without something from our friends at Milwaukee Tools. This is the Tough Shell heated jacket. That will warm you up. So what I've got in my hand here is the M12 starter pack. That's a battery pack. Nice. You whack that in your pocket, press on, and then there's 3 levels, just low, medium, and high on the chest. It's a premium black jacket, so it actually looks really good, and obviously keeps you warm. So that's yours, and a big shout out to Milwaukee Tools. They are, without them, this thing doesn't run. Mate, what is the handiest moment of your career? I'm thinking more LSU, just because we've never really had many moments in college. Can you remember the handiest moment? You've given us one already, I reckon, of Auburn, with the boys there, with Steely and Blake and your mates. But is there any other handiest moments of your career that the Milwaukee Tools handiest moment?
So, while that was an epic moment, the following year we went to Auburn and had to play them. Play in their environment. So 90,000 Auburn fans, maybe 5,000 LSU fans. And it came down to a field goal with 2 seconds left. So the previous game was a field goal, but it was about 3 minutes left, and it was still, to win the game. But this one was literally walk off. Like, if I do anything wrong, so I catch the ball, put it down, kicker comes through. It all happens very quick. And we know it's coming. Nerves are building, like, oh, here we go. And it's literally like any little mistake, like, we're screwed. And our kicker was really good. So it was all going to come, like, if he missed, it was going to come down to me. And like I said, the year before, like, say if we missed or whatever, we still had a couple of minutes left. It wasn't as intense as literally we're running down the clock. We're calling a timeout with 2 seconds left. So, we come on the field, do my job, hands are on point, put the ball down, laces out, straight through the middle. He runs off, chase him down, got a great photo. All of us just running onto the field. Auburn's fans just sitting there like, oh, what's happened?
So fucking good. Yeah. They're the moments that, the adrenaline, obviously even being on the road, I could just imagine it's just a special moment. It's so hard to explain because it's a completely different game, but the pressure the pressure in that moment is something that not many people go through in life.
Yeah, seriously.
In life.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm talking life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it is 100,000 people, and whoever's watching on TV, millions of people, and they're like, and if you fuck that up, and if you didn't, you nailed it, and it would have been all over the TVs, I'd imagine, that week.
Oh, exactly right. So, learning to deal with the pressure, and it's definitely, I don't know, like, sport is sport, but I think for a lot of people it's their life, and it does impact your life, and you can learn a lot of lessons from sport. Like, I think that's pretty obvious. So, you definitely build your character going through the tough moments, and there's obviously a lot of hard moments in sport, and then to come out and you enjoy the good ones when you perform.
I was going to say, you're very impressive. Was there a direct correlation between how diligent you were just early days? Think about you're 17, 18, you snap your leg, it snowed, and then you've had to go get your pelvis surgery and all that kind of stuff, your hip surgery. And then have you learnt so much from being so diligent and now applying that to your business 10 years later? Is that what's really helped you looking back?
Oh, for sure. All of that, like getting through adversity and stuff, and like, your business might, at the start, early days is really tough, like getting it going, and you have doubts, and, you have people on social media saying, disagreeing with like some advice I give on kicking and stuff. And that's the same thing I was getting on social media when you have a bad punt. Like, so you just learn to brush it off, and the being diligent with everything, and just trying to provide, like, again, like when you're an athlete, you're trying to be the best, and it's like you carry that into life, like trying to get the best out of yourself, and whether that's in business or in just how you go about your day-to-day stuff with people and interactions, just trying to be your best, and both from a physical standpoint, mental standpoint, always trying to do what I can to provide value and hopefully make the world a better place.
It's well said, mate. You're an impressive man. Have you got any advice for your younger self? You're going through, as you said, you've gone through a lot of adversity, but there's a lot of people listening here that might relate to you. They might have had something that gone wrong in 3 years. Now they've pivoted, and they've pivoted again, and now they've found their passion. But is there any advice that you might give yourself looking back, or that might relate to a few people?
Yeah, I think just like keep pushing through. It might not feel like things going your way at the moment, but just trust it. And as long as you're doing something every day to push forward and make yourself better and go towards whatever goal or objective that you might have, then things are going to work out. If you're a good person and you do good things, generally it's going to work out. And then I think just, trust in yourself, and like, you might not know what it is that you want to get to, but or how you're going to get there, but you know what you want. Just keep pushing towards that, and you'll be very surprised. Just trust the process, and it'll get done. It's
great advice, mate. Well, I want to pump your business up again. The Kicking Consultants, if you want to level up, doesn't matter if you want to be a superstar or you're playing Resi's footy, and you just want to get better, you want to improve, make sure you head online, get in touch. The Kicking Consultant only takes through the serious ones, so don't be mucking around.
Just follow on socials.
Follow the socials. It's a very impressive social media account. You're going to get a lot of free tips if you're a real frugal man or woman. But hopefully you get in and we get some sign-ups for you, mate. And all the best for the future. We'll obviously link up, and looking forward to. We might have to do an Oz American Aces exclusive where we get a few of our boys down and learn how to see how they go with a punt, because I don't think some blokes might muck around, but it'd be good to actually get the pros and the blokes that think they could potentially be a pro one day and see how hard it really is. But mate, thanks so much for coming on, and really appreciate it.
No, thanks, Tommy. It's been great.
And to everyone out there, as always, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate your support. Some special things going on. We've obviously just launched the Clubhouse with Ryan Pappenhaus and Cam Munster, Jerome Hughes. We've got our Aces Premiership Countdown show out now with Felix Mick, myself, and a special guest that we like to name on the night. And Ads and Dunks are flying, and they're both heading into finals. And we've also got some NFL content coming your way with the NFL Club right around the corner. Our fantasy league is going to be announced soon. So hit the subscribe button. Stay with us. Plenty of big plans coming. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for listening to another episode of Tommy Talks, where you literally can't thank you enough for all your support. Righto, we'll see you on the next podcast. Milwaukee's MX Fuel equipment system revolutionizes the light equipment market by delivering the performance and durability demanded by the trades. From the MX Fuel cutoff saw to the MX Fuel tower light, MX Fuel has you covered without the hazards associated with emissions, noise, vibrations, and the frustrations of petrol maintenance. MX Fuel Equipment System. Equipment redefined. Attention sports fans. Planning an overseas trip to catch your favourite games? Look no further than Sports Where I Am. They've got it all. League schedules, trustworthy tickets, and over 200 cities to choose from, all conveniently on one website. Plus, as an Australian company, they know the importance of great customer service for those long-haul journeys. So visit sportswhereIam.com and start planning your dream sports trip today. Sports Where I Am, your ticket to an unforgettable sports travel experience.